Welcome to Bill's Overdue. We totally forgot to remove ourselves from the stream before we started. I realized as we started, but it's that awkward second. My name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at BFF_Jeremy.
My name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. And we're joined by another special guest. Second time being on the show. It's Brother Bill. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? It's Brother Bill. You can find me on Twitter at brother__Bill. So it's 2 underscores there.
Yes. So, Brother Bill, unfortunately, you mentioned earlier this week that, due to your job, it kind of got shut down for a little while. And so you're kind of, put yourself out there to be on some podcast stuff. It looked like you got more offers than just us. How's that week been going for you?
That's good, man. Like, I'm really fortunate right now to have like this community that's built up, because last time I actually got a puppy last time because I was so bored and had nothing to do at all. So this gives me something to like take my mind off of just being upset or being stressed out. And I could just come to the Bills Mafia community, talk to you guys, and have more time to make some videos or just immerse myself in the Bills Mafia culture.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw in the comments you definitely got a couple offers out there. Any highlight moments from any you want to give a shout out to?
I actually had an article written about me, which was hilarious to me because like I did not expect that. His name is at SportsRock2 on Twitter. And he reached out to me and he was like, dude, I want to do a little story on you. And I was like, okay, I didn't expect it. But that was awesome. That actually dropped this morning. And it was awesome. Like he crushed it. And it was just really funny to like read about myself because like I don't think I'm a big deal at all. But like just the fact that like some people do view me as like a good voice for the Bills Mafia community is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know who you're talking about. He was just on the Bills guys. They brought him on for a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I forget his first name, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and I kind of saw like a snippet. So very cool.
That's weird. That's wild to be to go viral on Twitter and have someone reach out for an article. You're like, wait, I just like make funny videos. Like, you want to interview me? But that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all kind of got different setups going on. I feel like I want to address this. I have to address mine. I probably look the same for me, but I got a new banner holder, and I have to give a shout out to my dad because he helped me put it together. And he also asked me to give him a shout out. He didn't ask me. He's like, better get a shout out. So shout out to my dad. Max, you are home from college, correct?
I've kind of gone back in time to kind of how we started this podcasting, vidcasting thing, Jeremy. Like, I don't have a banner in the back. I'm back at home with my parents. I left my banner in my college house. Unfortunately, didn't bring it back. I got no actual mic. I'm just using my laptop's mic. So I'm going back in time, but I gotta get this stuff fixed for next time. Yeah. I swear I'll have things fixed.
And we almost had a nice guest appearance from Brother Bill's dog, Wrigley. I thought he was going to stay on and join us for a second. He popped up there right before he started, but he left. It was almost like a Nike's cameo, Bill Belichick's dog. So, anyways.
Yeah, he does look a lot like Bill Belichick's dog, actually.
Hey, I've gotten that before, and it's not a compliment.
That's an insult, yeah. It's a big insult.
Well, guys, we got a super chat right off the bat, and G. Shaw does not want to wait. He says, hey, guys, how are we going to beat the Chargers? So
let's jump right.
He's ready to get into it. I feel like the first thing you got to say about the Chargers is that like their record isn't like a good indication of like the kind of team they are, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like the Los Angeles Chargers. I think I almost thought that by getting rid of Phillip Rivers, the Chargers might get away from their problems of losing 1-score games, but it has not turned out that way whatsoever. They're still like stuck with that. That's their organization. They are the Los Angeles Chargers. You lose 1-score games. That's what they're built on. And they've done it, I think, in 8 games this season, I believe. A ridiculous amount of games. So they could easily be 7-3. Instead, they're 3-7. But they have a great rookie quarterback. So I think first you gotta, to address your question, is it Greg or G Shaw? G Shaw. To address G Shaw, to address your question, I think we first got to shut down Justin Herbert because that rookie's been sensational.
Maybe we can get maybe the Chargers doctor can stab Justin Herbert or something.
Yeah.
Is Justin Herbert even going to be playing? Because I saw a picture of him and he looked like he joined the military. Is he even going to be there?
Yeah, he got that. You got that new haircut. He had the flow. He got rid of the flow.
No one appreciates a good flow like I do. And
yeah.
I was a fan of Justin Herbert.
Brother Bill can tell Justin. Yeah. Brother Bill can tell Justin Herbert why he messed up because
he left the brotherhood.
Is amazing.
He left the brotherhood.
If I was a barber like yourself, Brother Bill, and Justin Herbert came into me and said, chop it off, I want to go short, I'd be like, no. But I'm not doing that. You got to go somewhere else.
My reputation's on the line now. So you're not representing Justin Herbert. You're representing me. You're a product of me, and I'm not letting that hair go.
You would lose so many followers if you cut your hair, Brother Bill. You'd lose all of your followers. I'd be off. I'd be off the Brother Bill train.
I made that Thanksgiving video where I was like playing my whole family, and I was debating do I cut my mustache to play my mom and sister? And I was just like, you know what? My mom and sister are just gonna have to have a mustache because the flow, the mustache, I can't let it go. It's too important.
What was it like sitting down at Thanksgiving dinner for you, Brother Bill? It's like everyone's sharing what's going on, and it's like, Brother Bill. I'm sure they call you Brother Bill. Brother Bill, so what have you been up to? Just growing a mustache and making videos on the internet?
I don't.
What's going on there? Are you going to get a real job?
No one, I don't think any family member truly gets it. None of them are really active on social media. My sister's got an Instagram, not a Twitter. So my Instagram isn't really, it's not as popular as my Twitter. So she doesn't really get it either, I feel like. So it is funny. I actually left this year. Thanksgiving was small. It was just me, my mom and dad. My sister lives in Dallas right now. So she wasn't able to come home. But it was just us three. And I actually was like, hey, I'm going to dip out. I have to make a video of me playing all of you at a dinner table. So I'll be back in an hour. Just watch the dog for me, please. And I left and I came back after and they're like, what'd you do? And I showed them. They're kind of just like, nice.
Oh,
yeah.
So really quick about, sorry guys to get off this, fabulous.
No, keep us on, keep us straight, Jeremy.
Yeah, sorry. So I wanted to pull the Chargers injury report. So Kalen Ballage, who still ended up getting picked up by a team. Was that earlier that the Dolphins were about to get a trade from the Jets, right? Was that this year? Kalen Ballage or Kenyon Drake? Now, who am I thinking?
I know he was on the Dolphins. He got drafted to the Dolphins. I know he was on the Jets at some point.
It was Kalen Ballage.
I don't know. Kalen Ballage.
The Dolphins were about to just release him, and then the Jets were like, no, wait, we'll give you a draft pick for him, right? And then I don't think he passed physicals or something, but apparently he's been okay for the Chargers, but he is questionable for the game. Brian Bulaga, he's there. I guess he's fine, but ruled out are Casey Hayward, a cornerback, and Melvin Ingram, their defensive end, as well as linebacker Uchenna Nwosu. I don't know if I butchered that at all.
Sure, but, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, but like you said, Brother Bill, Melvin Ingram, defensive end being out, like you said, that was pretty big. So yeah, I just want to throw this out there. For the Bills, our recent injury report, ruled out is John Brown, who was placed on IR today.
Rest in peace.
Cody Ford, who has been ruled out for the entire season, has been ruled out.
Another rest in peace.
And then
it's bad. We got to get into that.
That's all we got. So there's the injury report. It's kind of hard to keep going without talking about those injuries because I'm seeing some comments. Let's kind of talk about the Bills injuries and stuff like that. First, the John Brown thing. John Brown going on IR. He's got to miss 3 games. It's not 3 weeks. It's got to be 3 games, as we found out with the Matt Milano thing. Yeah. Max, how do you feel about the John Brown news?
Yeah, it's a blow. It's a big blow. He's our number 2 guy. I do not feel. I'm not super scared. And I believe the report was, Adam Schefter tweeted it. The Bills are hopeful that he's only going to miss 3 games. When you're placed on IR, you have to miss a minimum of 3 games. Hopefully the Bills can get him back right after those 3 games. Hopefully he doesn't have to miss more time. But it's a huge blow to us. But the good news is we have Stephon Diggs this year. So we have that number one.
Stephon Diggs.
And we have Cole Beasley. So if we had this injury last year, I would be terrified. It's like, okay, we just have Cole Beasley. But, we got Stephon Diggs, who's, leading the league in receiving yards, I believe. And he's right up there in number of receptions, right behind Keenan Allen. So, he's our beast. He's a big part of our offense.
Mm-hmm. Chargers wide receiver, as you were saying, another thing
Keenan Allen,
for them.
It's a big blow.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, I think a lot of people, I think I made the joke on Twitter saying, cue the Gabriel Davis is about to have like a huge game tweets. Like, everybody's waiting for that big game for Gabriel Davis. I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it, but I feel like he's had a couple good games where he's had over 50 something yards, and then the rest have been like 26 or less. So he's kind of like, sometimes he shows up and sometimes you're like, is he here? Was he even here at all today? But I'm glad that, hopefully just the minimum 3 games is all John Brown needs. Yeah, Gabriel Davis, I'd love to see him step up. What was I going to say? Sorry. Isaiah Mckenzie, maybe get him thrown in there. Yeah, I saw that. I wanted to finish up the wide receiver talk, but so we'll definitely get to that one afterwards. But yeah, why not a little bit more Isaiah Mckenzie? I mentioned how the Seattle game, he had his first actual touchdown pass, which I'm sorry, I don't, those little like drops to him. I barely, yeah, those are like step touchdowns. They're not really the case of this game. Yeah. So maybe it's a little more Isaiah Mckenzie and Gabe Davis. We have touchdown Jesus has been activated or protected this week.
Kumaro.
Right? Jake Kumaro.
I've anointed Jake Kumaro like my like rival now.
Oh, for the hair?
Just know that too, but Duke Williams is my guy. We go way back.
Really?
Go way back to Alberta, and I'm just not ready to give up on him. And Kumaro's coming in here, getting activated.
And people are in the comments too saying, what about Duke Williams? I mean, look, we brought Duke up for that one game, and I think he played like 4 snaps. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think we know what he's. And I mean, if Duke can show up for a game and show up, that'd be great. Like I said, we saw how many targets he got in the wild card game with Allen. So if he can like step in and they can somehow get that up there, but I mean, he's got Diggs and Beasley ahead of him who are going to challenge him. So I don't know, but let's get to the other comment because we had another super chat that we got to get to. So let me pull up the other one just so we could give him his due. So curious for your thoughts on seeing Moss as the feature back tomorrow. I believe he did out snap Singletary in the Cardinals game. So I mean, if he does, I guess it wouldn't really surprise me. What do you guys think? Brother Bill, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I think I've been a little disappointed with Singletary this year. I think we all kind of have. Like his role last year was always like, it was almost like we never got enough, and he always looked good in the small sample we got. And we're like, man, I can't wait to see Singletary as that like featured guy next year. Like that was the big, at least feeling for me. And he just hasn't lived up to it. He's had multiple opportunities, especially with Moss missing like a chunk of games, and he just hasn't been what I expected him to be. And he has like random moments where he shows his shiftiness, but just hasn't been consistent. Yeah. So I think maybe it's time to really hand it over to Moss and give him like a bulk. I know they've been pretty close to even, if not like a little different. But
yeah, I wonder. I mean, because I don't think there's been really any games where Moss has really outshined him. I know he looked better in the Patriots game because he had the 2 touchdowns, but other than that, they both had
like the same amount of
similar
touches, 2 yards different.
Yards. Yeah, obviously, I think they're going to go with Moss as a red zone threat. But yeah, I would love to see some more like 20, 21 personnel where we get to see both of them in the backfield. Like we've seen that a little bit, and that looks exciting. Yeah. But Max, your thoughts on Moss
I definitely, I think if you're looking for a feature back on this Buffalo roster, like I don't think you're really going to see that this year. I think the way Sean McDermott and I think the way that this Bills coaching staff likes to approach it is, no one's going to heavily outsnap another guy. So I think Moss will get more touches. I think he's the hot hand right now. I think Moss will, he'll edge out Singletary, I think, in terms of touches, but I don't think he'll be a true feature back because I've been impressed with Moss lately. And, Singletary, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in Singletary. I think he's still shown, glimpses of what he was his rookie year. I think he's just, the holes haven't quite been for them. He hasn't quite had the opportunity that he had last year. I'd like to see Moss get a little bit more, shares of the carries, but I don't want him as the true, let's leave Singletary off the field and just start Moss. I don't want that.
I'm completely okay with a 1A, 1B situation. And it's maybe some games this guy gets a couple more, and then maybe some games this guy gets a couple. I'm okay with that. How about this next super chat from James Cortez? I would love to see a backfield with Moss, Singletary, and Patterson.
Now in order to address this question, I got to go to my what the fuck of the week, Jeremy. Because all right, if I jump ahead to my what the fuck of the week, because my what the fuck of the week, it's a good what the fuck of the week. University of Buffalo's Jarrett Patterson, running back for the Bulls. If you've been watching college football this afternoon, if you watched college football around a couple hours ago, the UB Bulls pulled out 70 points today over Toledo, and they were led by their running back, Jarrett Patterson. Let me get some stats for you. 8 rushing touchdowns, 36 carries, 509 yards, 11.4 yards per carry. He had 150 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns just in the first quarter. The first quarter alone.
Amazing.
Holy crap. This guy went off. And their lame head coach, I don't like their head coach. He's lame because he pulled him out towards the end of the game when Patterson had a chance to break the NCAA record for rushing yards or rushing touchdowns in the NCAA. So that's pretty lame. But holy crap, Jarrett Patterson's amazing.
Yeah. So this is my my new hashtag. So I have Bills by a billion. I got keep Buffalo in Buffalo. We let Khalil Mack go.
Yeah.
I think we gotta keep this guy in Buffalo, man. And
I think Steve Mathis was saying that we should just draft their entire offensive line as well.
Yeah, I saw Steve Mathis tweet out something like, tell me I'm wrong. The UB Bulls offense is better than our offense, which is a stretch. But
yeah,
if they're blocking that well for Patterson, I think we'll
those
take
runs
that offensive
too.
line.
There's not much work he had. Not take anything away from him because he's amazing.
Yeah,
but he's got a lot of room to run. It's pretty impressive.
What's funny is I was watching, ESPN today, and I wasn't watching that game, but it was halftime of one of the Indiana and Maryland or whatever, and it was ESPN's Kevin Connors, who's a big Buffalo Bills fan, and he's not afraid to say it on national TV, which I love. And he was saying this guy Jarrett Patterson for the University of Buffalo. How about the Bills? Bills should draft him this year. Not a great running back for the Bills. How about they draft Patterson? And I'm like, all right, let's go for it. Love that. Plus, he's a little guy. He's 5'9". He looks so short out up there on the field, but he's he's got the home run hitting ability. He's awesome.
I wouldn't say I had an issue when we drafted Zach Moss because I was excited about him as well, but him and Singletary are very similar. They do the same thing in different ways. You know what I mean? You're not ever gonna break off a 50-yard touchdown run with either of them. I feel like they don't have that home run speed or big playability. They'll knock some guys over or they'll make some guys miss. But I think that's what we really lack, especially as a pass heavy offense. You need that guy a CJ Spiller would do good for us right now. That might not be great, but there's one carry where he could just take it for 70 yards anytime.
Yeah. I know a lot of people say that, they want that home run running back. I don't know. I remember the beginning of last season, Singletary was leading in runs above 20 yards or something like that for a little while. I know he's slowed down, but I think that's a bit when people say they want that running back who's gonna break off that 70-yard. How often is that gonna happen?
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't really bank on that. And I think Max was saying, as far as the running backs go, I think the O-line is just maybe really not been helping him. I mean, Brian Winters is still there. Oh gosh, we must have a Jets fan in here. to sign Brian Winters to a 3-year, $50 million contract.
Ooh.
Oh gosh. I wouldn't sign Brian Winters to like wash the towels after the game. I don't know why he's still on the team, but I don't know. I think the line could be better. You know, the whole both, like I said, both running backs have been a little yeah. I forgot. I don't know where I was going with that. But
I would pay Brian Winters $50 million to just leave us alone. Honestly, just go away.
Let's give him a restraining order from the Bills facility.
So somebody had a question, and I know we're kind of bouncing around, but I kind of want to talk about this bye week, and we'll come back to the Chargers. You know, we're going all over the place, and that's okay. Like I said, because we're coming off a bye week, and it's just we're just gonna wing it a lot today. I didn't know that this was possible for a team to win a bye week that they had off, but the Bills definitely won a bye week because all the AFC East teams lost. And I kind of want to start with what I want to talk about the least. First off, the Jets lose to the Chargers. Of course they lose. That's what the Jets do. And of course, Justin Herbert pretty much threw all over them. But the Jets lose again. They're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And I put this on Twitter, but like ESPN or some sports thing, like they went out of their way to make a graphic where it was just all the teams' logos and the Jets one blows up. And it's like eliminated. It's just like, I wonder if there's somebody that was like,
the guy in the graphics department had so much fun.
So it's like, should we wait another week until there's more teams eliminated? And they're like, no, let's just do this one for the Jets. Yep. So the Jets got eliminated. Second, the Patriots lost, which is awesome because the Patriots lost. But the Dolphins game, this was interesting because they lost against the Broncos and Tua Tagovailoa got benched.
Woo! Where's the Tua train now?
Yeah.
Now listen, so, I gotta come out here and say, like, I was scared of Tua last week, and I said it many times on the vidcast. I was like, you know what? I'm really scared of this guy. I think he's going to be a threat. He might challenge us, you know, in the division. Maybe not this year, but for years to come. This game made me feel a lot better about Tua Tagovailoa because he looked horrible. He got benched for Fitzpatrick. Dolphins did not play great on offense at all. Threw tons of incompletions. He got sacked like 6 times in that Broncos game. Times. So
I didn't watch the game. If you watch the highlights, it's a very good like summary of the entire game. But yeah, so Tua gets benched. He got sacked 6 times. He didn't even throw for like 100 yards. So Coach Brian Flores pulled him and he like picked him up and cradled him and was like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna let them hurt you anymore." And Tua was like, "The last time I threw for less than 100 yards, we won." And he's like, I know. Like, it's not going to work. So he's like, it's okay. Like, I won't put you out there. So,
and then we had Fitzmagic come in, and he nearly leads them down to a game-winning drive or a game-tying drive, I forget which. And, you know, he gets in the red zone, and he throws a red zone interception. And that was fun.
That was like a fuck you pick? Like, yeah, see, I can get all the way down here, but this is for benching me and just fucking blow the game.
Yeah. I think it's also just like that's the nature of Fitzpatrick too. Like he'll keep you in games and he'll make those mistakes that blow it at the end. So that's like, just Fitzmagic being Fitzpatrick.
Like he got all the way down there and it was like that last play and it's hike and then it's like slow motion and he looks to like the sideline and Flores is like, he's open. He's just like you said, he's like, oh, you want to bench me and then bring me in just for my Fitzmagic? And then like you said, he's like, fuck you. And then boom, it was like interception. And they just walked off like. He's like, they didn't air that part, but what was that comment that you pulled up next? Sorry, I didn't see.
Oh, it was just PJ saying Tua hasn't looked good in all of his games, screaming at me, which is true. And I was wrong. PJ. I thought Tua was going to be really, really good. And because I hadn't actually paid close attention to Dolphins games, I was under the impression from the national media that he was the next, Patrick Mahomes.
I was told.
That's my bad. I was told these things. I did not look into it myself, so that's my fault.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, so I guess the decision to bench Tua. A lot of people have been talking about this. Brother, we'll start with you. Like, do you agree, disagree with the decision to bench Tua because Fitzpatrick gives them the chance to win?
I don't agree, and I think it was Bruce Nolan said it really good to me, not to me, but on Twitter, that like you don't give up on your guy until you know that that's over. Like he was saying, like I'm sure there's multiple opportunities Josh's rookie year where McDermott could have pulled the plug and just been like, he's not ready or whatever. But you already made the decision. You stuck to him, and for confidence purposes, for like just giving him your trust, like to pull him in a crucial moment and put in the vet that you just benched for him. I think that's a really bad coaching move. And I like Brian Flores as a coach, but I think that's just a bad coaching move.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, you just got to let him have a bad game and finish it out, you know? Who knows? Maybe he like that one drive. I mean, they're only down by like what, a touchdown or something. Yeah. Like maybe he can be clutch and pull it out. If not, like I said, like at least let him finish it out. What do you think, Max?
I'm sorry. I just got distracted because there's some hilarious breaking news that was like built just for us for our podcast. I don't know what happened, but the stars aligned and we got some hilarious breaking news that's perfect for Bill's Overdue. So all of the Denver Broncos quarterbacks have been ruled ineligible to play against the New Orleans Saints because they have all been deemed high risk. They're close contacts in COVID-19 tracing. And this just broke now, like moments ago. So Drew Lock and Brett Rippon, the two quarterbacks on the active roster, and practice squad quarterback Blake Bortles were deemed to be high risk because they were not wearing their masks, a source told Adam Schefter. The Broncos will not be forfeiting, a source told Schefter. What do we do from here? I've never played quarterback, but can I sign up?
So all the quarterbacks and practice squad quarterbacks are out?
Blake Bortles practice squad.
Yeah,
so
Blake Bortles.
That's why you Jake Fromm. That's why you Jake Fromm.
That's why you do the Jake Fromm.
Let's just okay. I say we trade them Matt Barkley for one game because he can come off the bench. We'll give him Matt Barkley for like a 5th round pick, but they got to send him back right after. Like that's
it's it. Like soccer. It's like soccer when you like loan them away and then like they can come back.
Yeah. Let him have Matt Barkley. He can learn a good chunk of a playbook in like 5 days. He's shown it, right? No, it's not even 5 days. It's tomorrow, right?
It's tomorrow. So like, what's gonna happen? Is there gonna be a trade where a guy is literally flown out like at 8:00 tonight, arrives in Denver, or I don't know if they're playing the game in Denver or New Orleans, or like they're just gonna like fly a guy out, like the kid's traded.
Maybe you let Jameis Winston walk across the field.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he even needs to know the playbook. Jameis Winston's kind of just lets it fly. You just let Jameis be Jameis.
I think it's going to be like
you just lend him Jameis. It's like it's like you're showing up to a rec soccer game when you're a little kid and one team doesn't have enough players. You just lend them players on the other team. That's how it works.
I think it's going to be like that scene from The Water Boy where the coach just comes out and he's just like, does anybody have an idea? Or like someone's like, has anybody played quarterback? Seriously. And then there's like, I played in high. There's always somebody who played in high school.
This is why they should have kept Isaiah McKenzie. They had Isaiah McKenzie on their practice squad years ago. They should have kept Isaiah McKenzie. And Steve Mathis with the info here with our insider.
That's
insider Steve Mathis can't bring any QBs need 2 days to pass the test.
So do you remember, I think it was 2018 when we were having like our quarterback, like, musical chairs, and it got really bad. At one point, like Sean McDermott said that I think Jordan Poyer was the emergency quarterback. Do you guys remember this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. He did say this once.
The Derek Anderson,
the Derek Anderson year. Yeah. It was like Peterman and then Josh Allen, and then he goes down, and then Derek Anderson, and then Peterman, and then Matt Barkley comes in. So yeah, I think at one point they said Jordan Poyer was the emergency quarterback. So I feel like the Broncos have to do that. They got to say who's your emergency quarterback, because
I think that happened
once. Good.
I think that happened once before too when I think it was like the EJ Manuel, Jeff Toole, Thad Lewis carousel.
What an amazing 3 names.
I think they said Fred Jackson was the emergency QB back then too. Like if whoever was playing at the time, Thad Lewis maybe. if he got hurt.
Yeah. What I'd expect to happen probably is, there's got to be guys on that roster where, it's like, hey, you played quarterback in high school a little bit. And then the game plan, the whole game is just like, run crazy stuff, run, all sorts of
Triple
runs,
option.
wildcat formations. Yeah, it's like Army. Play it like Army football does. Just triple option. I mean, the offensive coordinator for Denver is like erasing everything and starting over right now. Like, this is going to be wild
they're
to see
picking,
how this plays out.
I think whoever they end up playing, they tell them, you just pick the plays you can do. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
I mean, the Saints were going to win this game anyway. So, and it's a good thing this team wasn't in playoff contention, because then it'd really screw everyone over. Like if this was like the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I know the Ravens and Steelers are going through something right now, but if there was a situation where a team in playoff contention lost all their quarterbacks and this had to happen, this would be absolutely insane.
So they're playing at 1:05 p.m. I think that's Pacific, so 4:05 Eastern. That's a game I'm definitely going to be checking out, like, for sure, because I gotta see what comes of it.
Give him Jameis or Taysom Hill.
Yeah. How about some other breaking news? This kind of happened a little bit before we came on, but Santa Clara County, where the 49ers play, believe it or not, they don't play in San Francisco, has basically, and let me pull it up, they have some new COVID restrictions that could affect them. They basically said there's a ban on all contact sports and a mandatory 14-day quarantine for anyone traveling into the region. And they've also basically canceled like practice and games for any contact sports like inside the county. And that starts on Monday. So
they're gonna have to find a new location for Monday Night Football. I guess it's gonna be crazy.
So they have to find. I guess they're already looking into alternate venues, but the 49ers starting Monday cannot play football in their county. It says they have a couple options. I don't know how easy it is to just get a stadium up and running. And you guys have any experience in running stadiums?
I don't. I don't know how that works. But Jeremy, you live in California. Can you go out there and do some field reporting for us and see what's going on?
Build it.
Go into Santa Clara, stick some microphones into people's faces and see what's going on there. We need your investigative journalism.
I think it's just like 6 hours away. I can just go on up there. Yeah, maybe.
You need to do full Kevin Costner. Just build a fucking stadium in your backyard right now, and they will come.
I live in an apartment. The backyard's about the size of the bedroom I'm in. So I don't know about that. So anyways, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm sure the 49ers will get on it very quick. Hopefully figure something out, because they got to practice. And here's a question I'd like to pose to you guys. It just came up. Should we pick up? Well, we should pick up Kenny Stills. Agree, disagree. I know this came up when he was released, and then a little bit later, John Brown was on IR, so I think some people are open to it. Max, how do you feel about it? What do you think? Should we go after a new wide receiver?
I don't think. No, I don't see a need to. I think Kenny Stills is that deep threat. He's getting up there in age, but if we need a deep threat, we can have Stephon Diggs go deep. We can have Isaiah McKenzie go deep. I don't see that as a guy we need to bring in. I think we got tons of depth guys on our practice squad. Jake Kumro,
Isaiah McKenzie go deep, but I wouldn't throw it to him.
Duke.
Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Duke.
And Isaiah Hodgins is supposedly back, right?
Yeah, they haven't. I think they had to announce today by 4 p.m. if he was going to be playing. So I think he's still just. It doesn't look like they did. So it looks like he won't be playing tomorrow.
There's your reminder.
Is still in here. I think he's the one who told me.
There's your reminder that Isaiah Hodgins still exists. I forgot he existed. He's just.
Yeah, I think I forgot about him for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about him for a few weeks. I mean, I would love to see like Jake Kumro just get like a target tomorrow in the game. I mean, it's interesting, right? I'd love to see it. I don't know. He's that big body receiver, that everybody thinks will just instantly be able to out-muscle people. But I would just like to see him get a target. So, anywho, moving on. Where were we? What's next?
Are we ready to talk about the Chargers curse? The Chargers curse?
Oh, yes. This is Max's big story for today.
Yeah, this is my big storyline.
So, Max, how about this? You're going to argue that there's a Chargers curse. I'm going to come up with counterpoints, and then we can let Brother Bill decide who's right.
So I'm the jury.
Okay, I like that a lot. So I after doing some extensive research this week, I was writing a column for the Buffalo Fanatics blog. Another shameless plug for my blog. And I determined that the Los Angeles Chargers, or not even the Los Angeles Chargers, the Chargers have a curse on the Buffalo Bills because you look at the last 4 games, in the last 4 matchups between these two teams. So we have 2018, Vontae Davis retires at halftime. We lose 31-20. The game before that, it was the infamous Nate Peterman 5 interception first half game. We lose 54-24. The game before that, this was in 2014. EJ Manuel benched just 2 weeks later after the Chargers game. And the Bills lost that Chargers game 22-10. And in 2011, the last meeting, the 2011 Bills were eliminated from playoff contention, and they lost that game 37-10. So 0-4 in their last 4 matchups, the Bills are against the Chargers. I think there's a curse. That's a curse.
All right. So I'm going to start with 2011, where the Bills, where was it? They lost to the Chargers, which eliminated the Bills playoffs. The only good thing I can say about that was the year that the Bills switched back to our current uniforms. You know, coming off of those dark ones, it's not a great argument. I understand, but that's all I have for that one. However, the rest, Max, I'm sorry, I'm going to destroy your curse. 2014, EJ Manuel was benched. That is unfortunate. However, Kyle Orton got us to 8-8, which was like an improvement over the previous seasons. It was better than
it was the first
season
non-losing season since 04, I think, right?
500, yeah. So there's that one. 2017, Peterman 5 interceptions. Max, we broke the playoff drought that season.
But it was a matchup. It's a matchup thing. It's like the Bills versus the Chargers.
So you're just saying we're just cursed to
have unfortunate. Yeah, we're cursed to lose those games because we're 0-4.
I didn't know that's what you were going with. And then 2018.
Sorry about that. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I kind of changed the narrative as I went because it was like, okay, Vontae Davis, that was an in-game thing. Nathan Peterman, that's an in-game thing.
Davis retires at halftime. However, that second half is when Sean McDermott took over play calling for the defense. And from then on, our defense was solid. We were awful against Baltimore. I think they scored 400 points against us.
Yeah, they did.
And then we were even worse in the first half again, or just as bad this first half of the Chargers, and it was what is going on? After Vontae Davis retires, the defense was much better against not only just the Chargers for the second half, but the rest of the season. So I mean,
people in the comments are saying I'm defeated already. I look defeated already. No, we're 0-4. That's a curse.
I'll take it.
That's a curse. Terrible things have happened to the Bills franchise in the last 4 games. No one retires at halftime in the NFL. That can only be a curse thing. No one throws 5 interceptions in the first half of a game. That has to be the powers that be. That has to be some sort of supernatural powers that are, the football gods controlling the game in some way.
Yeah, McDermott should have left Peterman in. I'm sorry, but when you switch to your rookie quarterback, you just got to leave him in for the whole game and just see what happens. Maybe he throws 9 interceptions that game.
It's the opposite of what Max was talking about with the UB coach. He should have left Patterson in to break that record.
Yeah.
McDermott should let Peterman go, man. Let him be great.
Yeah.
I bet after 5 interceptions, I bet Peterman just gets hiked to him and then he just tosses to a Chargers and walks off. He's just I'm done.
Yeah, it's they let Tyrod, go back into that game, but it's at a certain point, 5 interceptions in the first half, you're done. You're not going to come back. So, why even try? Just let him go out and Peterman go out in flames. I don't know why they
get McDermott saying he had to review the tape after that game before he made a
quarterback. Gonna have to look at that tape. Yeah, no, you're gonna burn that tape.
Didn't you watch the instant replay? What else do you have to watch? That's terrible. So, anyways, Brother Bill. What's your call? Curse? No curse? What do you think?
I'm gonna go no curse. No curse.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's,
Max.
It's
I mean,
a
it's
4-1.
all right.
It's a series of unfortunate events, but it's not a curse.
Okay, fair enough.
And tomorrow
You know what?
we're
That's
gonna
all right.
shatter any idea of it.
Yeah,
So,
because if it's not a curse, that means that we win tomorrow, which I'm happy about. So it's a win-win for me.
either way, you
Like,
win. Yeah.
Either way, I win. One way, my talking point is proven right, and I'm very sad tomorrow. But the other way, we win. So
In a spin zone to this, last time we played the Chargers was Josh Allen's first NFL start. So there's a silver lining of that loss.
And
that's a good counterpoint.
And he said like the record that season in that game for like longest like throw like for air yards or something, like that bomb he threw to like Zay Jones or something. Remember that?
Yes.
That was like the longest that season. So
all right. Let's get back to the present though.
Okay, here's a good talking point. Mitch Morse, McDermott stopped fucking around with us and said he's back at center.
Thank goodness.
Really annoying. I mean, again, we don't know what's going on. Some people have said that maybe Mitch Morse is contemplating retirement after this season, and so maybe there's some like behind the scenes discussions, and he's just like, "How about you just use me as a reserve right now?" But they're also saying, somebody mentioned, I think it was Steve Mathis. He's the only person I follow on Twitter, so I'm just taking all his points. He's saying, maybe this is just a good time to mess around with the offensive line rotation. But then Cody Ford goes out. He's gone, and then once they say he's done for the season, he's like, "Yep, Mitch Morse is back at center." Absolutely. So, how do you guys feel about this O-line tomorrow? What are you hoping to see? Take away, Max.
Well, I mean, sorry, brother Bill, but he's our guy that we're paying. So, and he's the highest paid center in the league. So I'm so thankful that we finally sanity has won, and Mitch Morse is now in the starting lineup. I think Bruce Nolan tweeted that. But yeah, let's have Mitch Morse go out there and ball. I don't know why McDermott loves to get cutesy with the offensive line. I've talked about this many times. But yeah, finally, Mitch Morse is in there. Now just take Brian Winters out, and we're set. We're good. We got a deal, McDermott? Do we have a deal? Can we just take Brian Winters out, keep Morse in there at center, then we have a deal.
I want to see Brian Winters on the sideline with like a tray of like cups of Gatorade, and he's just like, "Here you guys go." He's passing those out.
Orange
and then
slices.
orange slices. Maybe also he's like, "I've also made some oatmeal cookies," because that's probably what he would make. He's like, "If you guys want some, they're probably good." I don't know. That's all I want to see.
I bet he's a bad baker. I bet he cannot bake.
Yeah. I was trying to give him something good. I was trying to be positive about something.
I bet he gives out the cookies, and the guys like take a bite of the cookie, and they're like, delicious.
When he walks away, they're like,
So I got another spin zone, back-to-back spin zones out of me. Wow. What if McDermott is announcing Morse center, and then come Sunday, Feliciano is inactive, so he can still start Butker and Winters? Is that not the most like McDermott, like fuck with you thing you could do?
Oh my God! Yep. Yeah,
I
would believe it. Yeah,
it probably won't happen, but if it did happen, I'd be like, "Yep, of course."
Is it because do you think so? McDermott is just like, I feel like Winters is about to have a breakout game. Like I just know it's coming.
I do feel like he leeches on to like these random guys sometimes, like that. He's just like, "Yeah, this guy's we're running with him." And Winters has done nothing. Winters has done nothing to earn that.
Yeah,
it's like he really wants to keep the offensive line room on their toes or something, and like make everybody unsure about like Deion Dawkins week to week is probably like, "Am I starting this week, coach? Am I starting?" Like he's probably not sure himself.
I might get benched soon.
I might get benched.
Yeah. It's funny because we all know that McDermott, he loves like versatile offensive linemen. It's like versatility. And Brian Winters comes in. He's like, I can only play right guard and not very well. He's like, I love it. He's like, I like this now. He's like, I like guys who can only play one thing now. That's what I want. So people are about to talk about Ty and Seki. He's still there. I was watching him a few games ago when I think Darrell Williams went out for a little bit, and then Ty and Seki came in. I was kind of paying attention on those next couple snaps, and And Zeki looked like he was holding it down, like
He's good.
very well.
He is good.
I'm guessing maybe they just keep him as the backup. They don't want to maybe move Darrell Williams from right tackle. But yeah, just
let's talk a little bit about the loss of Cody Ford. You know, like Cody Ford had this caught the case of the injury bug. Well, Cody Ford not so much, really, just kind of Brian Winters.
What he sets in play. Well, that's true. I like
sorry.
Brian Winters just like overtook AJ Klein.
Yeah,
that's who I like to shit on now.
I know, yeah. But Cody Ford, obviously torn meniscus, he's out for the season. He got a case of the injury bug this year. He's always was battling something. And he was all right. I feel like he was solid at guard. And that's a big loss for us. It's another guy out of our lineup that we got to replace with Brian Winters.
God,
I feel like there's two position rooms that like we haven't been able to experience what it should be, and it's like the secondary, like the DBs and the offensive line. Like we haven't gotten to see what the offensive line could truly be with all 5 starters we want. And the DBs, I think this is the first week we're gonna get to see it. I'm excited about that, but
cornerback.
The COVID stopped it last game, and before that, it's like Norman's been hurt, or Trey was out the game, or
how about
Levi was out for a while.
Could you maybe throw tight ends in there a little bit too?
That's true.
I mean, there's been a few games where I think they're all healthy, and just I don't know.
I'm chalking this season up for Dawson for it's like a scratch year. Like he's been injured a lot. He had the COVID. It's just like I don't think things are gonna get rolling for him this year. But I'm willing to write it off. And give him a fresh next year.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good point. Like you can say that about a lot of groups. Honestly, it's just such a weird year that and some the youth of Dawson Knox, like he's still young, he's still got time to grow. But yeah, this is a weird year for a lot of guys, and like I wouldn't doubt that a lot of guys come back next year when things are hopefully semi-normal and hopefully fully normal too, and guys ball out and they never skip a beat. So hopefully that can happen, but.
Yeah,
this whole Bills squad has been, we were extremely lucky last year in the fact that we were not a very injured team the entire season. Got very lucky with that, and then this year, not as much, but it's not like we're getting injured all the time like the Philadelphia Eagles, thankfully. So yeah,
I gotta bring up this comment. Jay Davis says, "Guess you didn't fail your AJ Klein apology form after the Seahawks game." I've always loved AJ Klein, so there's nothing for me to apologize for. Max, we both said it. We've loved him from the beginning. There is no evidence out there that we've ever hated on AJ Klein. He's amazing. So but yeah,
I made that I Love Lamp video with AJ Klein, which was like a personal favorite of mine. Where it's like, are you just saying you love AJ Klein because he had a good game?
It's like,
I love AJ Klein.
Yeah, I've always loved him.
Yeah.
All right. I'm seeing a lot of people in here want to talk about the impact of Austin Eckler. He might be coming back this week for the Chargers. Chargers running back. He's just off IR now. He's a solid running back ever since Melvin Gordon left the Chargers. He's taken over that spot. Even before Melvin Gordon left, Austin Eckler looked like the feature back in Los Angeles. So he's a tough guy to worry about. He's probably a lot kind of similar to. He's a shorter guy. I feel like kind of similar to Zach Moss a little bit. I don't know. Not really a comparison guy, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know his size, but he is. God, this sounds bad. He's a running back, correct?
Yes.
But he's also a good receiving threat.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like so
he can do both. So yeah. You tell me.
Sorry, I didn't really prepare you for that one. Brother Bill,
I mean, have we?
Thoughts?
He's definitely better than what they've been rolling out, and I think Justin Jackson's banged up a little bit too, right, or something.
I think so. Potentially.
So
I'm not sure
if he can play, that's obviously good news for them. But it sounded a little bit like it wasn't gonna happen. I heard Anthony Lynn say anything can happen to his response to if he was suiting up. So that gives me a little okay, it seems like a long shot, and maybe they're just kind of holding out hope. Or if he does play, it doesn't sound like he's 100% healthy yet. So
yeah, it's definitely he's their They're once he's healthy, he's their prime feature back. It's always scary with our run defense. Has always been shaky, kind of for the past 2 years. So like, yeah, I'm nervous with if Eckler might be able to tear it up for the Chargers on the ground. If hopefully our guys, Ed Oliver and our D line can strengthen up and gap integrity and limit him on the ground. Because I think you got to force the ball into Herbert's hands and let our pass defense do the work. Even though Justin Herbert can tear it up, I think we're gonna have to allow our pass defense to win the game on defense at least.
I'd like to put up a comment really quick. Tom is asking if we are seeing the Facebook comments. We are not ignoring you. I actually saw one of your comments earlier, but it's just sometimes they go really fast. And it's a little hard to work them in. So, Tom, put in your question again if we didn't see it. Sorry about that. But as far as Austin Eckler, I mean, I kind of almost look at it as like mobile quarterbacks. I know they're not the same, but I think about, how well has McDermott planned against them before. And I think about guys like Philip Lindsay, Saquon Barkley, who can run the ball as well as catch, who are those like dual threat running backs. And I think we play pretty well. So it's almost like, again, I have confidence that we can game plan against them. It's just, again, it's about the defense and about their execution. There's not the same defense this season, but yeah, that's my thoughts there. But I think somebody was saying he was just activated. So, if he is playing, it's probably like
he
a
might be
limited capacity, maybe.
He might be on a pitch count. Like he might not even, he was just activated from IR, but who knows, he might not actually play this week. And if he does, it'll probably be fairly limited. And for me, it's like the running back position. It's like that's in my brain, the running back position is kind of the least important position in football. It's like they're a dime a dozen. We hear it all the time. And like, yes, Austin Eckler is a better back than everyone else in that room. But I think the running back position affects the game the least, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'd rather have a running back coming back from IR than, a star quarterback.
Or their defensive end, right? As they were mentioning earlier. Let's pull up Justin's comments here. How confident are you guys that we'll get the W tomorrow? My confidence is dropping every day after the news about JB15. I'm around 50% will win tomorrow. Chargers are a lot better than 3-7. As we mentioned earlier, I think they're a better team than 3-7. But again, it's like, why are they 3-7? It's just like they lose all these close games. They can't seem to hold on to those leads. So who's to say that same thing won't happen for the Bills? I'm not saying it will, but they obviously make mistakes, and I think it's mistakes that we can capitalize on. But yeah, I do think they're better than 3-7. I think this can be a close game, and I won't be that bummed if it is a close game because, like that, I like Justin Herbert. I think he's pretty fun to watch in the couple games that I've seen him. But what do you guys think about that, though?
Brother Billy, you want to take it?
Go.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm pretty confident still. Like not taking away what he said. Like Chargers are definitely a lot better than 3-7, and maybe if we won that Cardinals game, my like confidence would be a little lower because like it's the quintessential like trap game. But because we lost, I think we're gonna come out with like a chip on our shoulder. We lost in like a heartbreaking fashion. I think it's just that kind of helps our mentality and not overlook this opponent. Like we're gonna come out and we're gonna pile it on, and they might pile it on too. That's a good offense, but I think we come out on top. And like you said, Chargers make mistakes in the final stretch. That's just what they've done, and there's no reason why they won't do it against us. And I think our defense hasn't been like amazing, but the big plays have been coming lately, and that's a good sign that like maybe like teams are still putting up a decent amount of points on us, but like we're making the game changing plays now.
Yeah, I think if you were to like predict this game based on what both these teams have done, it's like I expect this to be a very tight game, and come down to the wire, and because the Bills don't blow anyone out of the water. Unfortunately, we seem to have a struggle to do that. We get out to a big lead, and then we kind of can let teams back into the game. I think it'll either be that type of scenario where we get out to a big lead, and then the Chargers come back, and the Bills win in a one-score game. And, drops that Chargers record another game to losing in one-score games. or it'll be like it's back and forth all the way through because the Chargers are a good team, and I think Justin Herbert can hang with Josh Allen, and it'll come down to the last quarter or the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. I don't think this isn't going to be a cakewalk. Thankfully for us, I think we have 2 weeks to prepare for this, 2 weeks to prepare for Anthony Lynn and this Chargers offense with Justin Herbert. So I don't expect a blowout, but I think we should win this game, and I'm not super nervous about it.
I have a question that just kind of came to my head, you guys. Do you almost kind of like empathize with Justin Herbert because he kind of came into the league like the same way like Josh Allen, where a lot of people kind of thought he was going to be terrible, and I mean he did it much sooner, but he kind of proved them wrong like much quicker.
Right.
And he's got the strong arm. He can use his feet if he has to. He's fun to watch. But you guys agree with that?
Yeah. I think him exceeding expectations so early gets that like off his back though, like because Josh did struggle that first year and early in his second year, that gave like pundits the like excuse to be like, oh no, see, I told you, and like they're just not letting up still. Where like Herbert's kind of like deaded it off rip, deaded it, and I think that's just gone now unless he like has a terrible end of the year.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like if Herbert had done the same thing as, Josh Allen, where like he struggles the first year, he proves a little bit the second year, but still not great. Like you would see people talk about Justin Herbert the same way people talked about Josh Allen in year one and year two, I think. But yeah, Herbert got over it real quick. So it's real easy for pundits to change their tune real quick. Then Josh Allen, the case of Josh Allen, pundits still cannot get over their pre-draft narratives. We've been over this a million times. It's just sad. Sad.
Yeah. Sad. I'm going to I finally got Tom's comment. Here it is. I saw this earlier. Do you think we will see Isaiah Hodgins activated before John Brown returns? If so, we almost have to, because they have 21 days from the time that Isaiah Hodgins was designated to return, which is 3 weeks, and then John Brown goes on a few days later and he's out for 3 games. So if they're going to activate Isaiah Hodgins, it has to happen before John Brown comes back. So I guess the question is, do we think Isaiah Hodgins will be activated? I hope so, especially with John Brown going out. I would love to see them like get Isaiah Hodgins in there. His red zone stats from college are just too like interesting to not try to get him out there. You know what I mean? I'd be like, his size, his
is he really good in the red zone?
Is he the real touchdown Jesus?
Maybe. I think like of all of his targets, God, I don't have him on me, but he had like 1 drop, I think, on just I wish I had him on hand, but I wasn't prepared to talk about Isaiah Hodgins so much today. But I would love to see him get activated and see what he can do. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Oh, you go. Take it, brother Bill.
You sure?
Yeah.
I would say like you want to see what a rookie can do. You want to. His stats were like him and Gabe Davis both had like insane college stats, and it was shocking to see them both. I don't watch too much college ball, but like when they drafted them, and then you see their height and their stats, you're kind of like, wow. So it's definitely something I would love to see, is just how he can do in the game. And like, you don't expect too much from a late round rookie, but if he can make a couple red zone catches, that's all you can ask for.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think I like the philosophy of like, as fans, we all want to see all of our draft picks get on the field for a little part of time. Like, even if he's a 7th round pick, we want to be like, oh, get him on the field so like we can see him for a couple snaps, then immediately be like, okay, you suck, or okay, you're amazing, stay on the field. So yeah, I'd love to see him on the field. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, if he does, it could be almost like anticlimactic. Like I say, when Duke I just messed up twice in a row. When Duke got called up, again, we saw almost nothing. And this is someone who's like familiar with the playbook, has chemistry, and like has like that size. And, we say he has those hands. We didn't really see anything. Now not Brother Bill, but I know I'm looking to maybe see touchdown Jesus get at least a target just to see what he can do. Yeah. But if Isaiah Hodgins comes out, like I said, it could be a little anticlimactic. But I'd like to talk about the CB2 position, if you guys don't mind transitioning to that one. Josh Norman was activated off the IR. Levi Wallace, he is active, right? He's not on the IR or
Yes,
anything,
he is
right?
active.
He was on the COVID list. He's back. So, and I'm pretty sure Dane Jackson is protected. Who do you guys want to see starting at CB2 tomorrow? Max, you're the Levi Wallace stand here. So why don't you start?
I mean, you guys all know my answer already. It's Levi Wallace. He's active. He's healthy. I think he goes out there. I think Josh Norman has been too inconsistent from what we've seen from him. He had that flash where he punched the ball out against the Raiders, got that fumble. We were all like, yes, Josh Norman, this is why we brought him here. And then ever since then, kind of fell off the map a little bit, got absolutely torched against Tennessee. I mean, everyone got torched against Tennessee. So that's really not really fair. But
we all know that the low light you're talking about from Tennessee.
What?
We all know that the low light you're talking about with Josh Norman in Tennessee.
Yeah, specific. I wasn't even thinking about that. I honestly forgot about that. I think I blocked that part out of my memory. Blocked the Derrick Henry stiff arm out. But yeah, he got torched. Everyone got torched, and Josh Norman ever since then has kind of been like, not what we wanted or expected. So I think we put Levi back in there.
Brother Bill, how about you? Who do you think gets the start?
I think Levi gets a start, but I'm not like as anti-Norman as Max just came off. I would say, so when we got Norman, he's not what he used to be. I think we all know that. Like, he's not a DB1. He's not a lockdown guy. But I am still intrigued of him as like a rotating end DB in this defense that he's familiar with. And I don't think we've gotten enough looks at it. He came in that game, punched it out. That was a huge moment. Mm-hmm. And then the Titans game, Trey White's out and Levi Wallace is out. I'm pretty sure. So it was like him as DB1 and I
think Cam Lewis started at one point.
So you put him in a spot where we didn't expect him to play in that as that guy, and he was kind of thrust into it. And we know he's not that guy anymore. So I'm interested to see him as that DB3, and I think he could be really good as that. I don't think he's anything more than a DB2, 3, but Levi deserves that 2 spot for sure.
Yeah, I think, and I'm going to lean towards Dane Jackson getting the start because, Levi got the start at the beginning of the season because, he was the, I guess, incumbent DB2, if that's what you call it. He was the guy that was already here. And then he got injured. So Josh Norman got the opportunity. And when Josh Norman was healthy, Levi held on to it. So to me, I kind of feel like with this position, McDermott's kind of think is who's been available and been holding it down, they'll get the start. And in this case, it's Dane Jackson. He's been the healthy one. He's been out there. And I can't think of a play where, something happened and you're like, oh, God damn it, Dane Jackson. You messed that up. He seems like he's been holding it down. So I think because of what he's been doing when he comes in, I think he gets the start. And then maybe even if he just does all right, then maybe we still get Josh Norman and Levi Wallace rotated in just so they can kind of get some reps and, get back on the field and get some experience and stuff. So that'd be my guess.
I think Dane Jackson is still on the practice squad, though. I think he's back down to the practice squad. Does anyone know?
I think this would be to see him. His final elevation, and then after that, he would have to be signed or go through waivers. And I think he does. I think he gets signed. Absolutely.
I'd love us to sign him. I think he deserves to be on the active roster.
Yeah, I think somebody said he currently have 50 active spots with John Brown and Cody Ford going on IR. So I think we have 3 spots. So I think we definitely give one to Dane Jackson. The other 2, at least one of them have to go to a linebacker because I think Dotson and another linebacker coming off IR. Milano. We got to save his spot. Yeah, we'll probably have to save his spot. So I think Dotson probably gets another spot, and then we just maybe keep that other one open for Milano to see how well that plays out. And it'd be kind of nice to see if Dotson plays again, to see another linebacker out there beside. I mean, I know AJ Klein hasn't given us a reason to talk crap about him the last couple of weeks, but it'd be nice to see somebody else.
just want to bring up this comment here by Richard Rush. Welcome. So he says, sorry I'm late. I was fixing the lights on the stupid tree. Let the party begin. It's that season, isn't it? That
Hold
time
on.
of year again.
Richard Rush, do you already have the Christmas tree up? November is not even dead yet.
I'm all for
I don't think that's
Thanksgiving. Yeah, post Thanksgiving, it's good to me.
That's normal.
So once Thanksgiving's over,
yeah.
The second,
like, go out and get your tree
with,
the Friday after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh man, the second we were done with Thanksgiving.
Wait, what'd you say?
The second we were done with Thanksgiving dinner, my wife was like, "I want to watch a Christmas movie," and I was like, "No." I was actually arguing at first. I was like, "No." I was like, "That's too soon. Come on." Like that. Yeah,
I've been listening to Christmas
right
music.
There. Like seriously,
I've been listening to Christmas music since like November 12th.
Oh, that's
that guy.
That's too far.
I am that guy.
I'm hard. Like after Thanksgiving, it has to start.
Are you bumping that Mariah Carey, Brother Bill?
Hell yeah. Felt it.
Oh, so Richard S. confirms the tree has gone up today. Lone Wolf says my tree's been up for 10 days. Wow.
That's a little insane.
I mean, if the whole family's on board, then hey, to each their own.
That's a wolf. So I mean, I think the wolf, they live in a pack, and the wolves, they live amongst the trees. So
I'm a tree chopper though. So
like, long.
I can't go too early because it'll die. Like I'm a real tree chop it down guy.
I see. I can see that. Brother Bill, did you see the video? I think it was a Labatt Blue video, and again, it made me think of you. But it's like how to find the perfect tree.
No.
And they go up to one tree and they shake it, and a can falls out, and he picks it up, and it's like a blue light or something. It's another thing. There's two things in the last few weeks that I've seen of that I instantly thought of Brother Bill, and it was that video. And I told you the other week it was like a Zubaz suit. Yes. And I saw that, and the guy almost kind of looked like you a little bit. I think he had like long hair, but the modeling job's out there for you, Brother Bill. You gotta get on that.
I'm unemployed technically right now too, so
true.
Maybe I should do it.
I have something to pee on. Trying to find out, see if there's anything I left out that I wanted to discuss.
Thanks, Doug. He was a special guest, Carlos Santana. Have you ever gotten that, Brother Bill?
I haven't.
Do you get that often?
I get Billy Stranger Things. I get when I was younger, I used to get Max Lopez a lot, like from the George Lopez show. Like as kids, we looked identical, and it's true, we really did. There's times where like I would wake up like middle of the night to the George Lopez show, like 3 a.m. on Nick at Night, and I would be so out of it that I'd be like, "What the fuck am I doing in the George Lopez show?" And it was just Max Lopez.
Oh, I have one quick story. It's a bit of a sidestep from Bill's stuff, but is also kind of breaking news today, and that was that Matt Patricia, head coach of the Lions, and their GM, I think it's Bob Quinn, is that his name, have been fired. Yeah, and my first thought was like, not surprised, and that was followed up by a question of, is any Lions fan like upset about this or what?
No, I feel like they've been yelling to fire that guy for a while now, and it's a shame because Matt Patricia was kind of a funny, like memeable head coach that you could all just kind of look at and make fun of. He's got the whole pencil in the ear stick. He's a big guy. My theory for why he got fired, maybe, he gets fired the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So what happened between the Lions loss to the Texans on Thanksgiving and today to have him get fired? Well, I think he was probably like the blue medical tent. I bet they found out he was like eating and drinking during the game, like having his Thanksgiving meal and having like one too many beers inside the blue medical tent during the game. That's my theory. And like
gravy in his beard
about it. And they're like, this is not professional. You're fired.
Or that's how like a lot of like restaurants are doing outdoor seating in like the little tents that they set up outside.
Yeah.
So maybe he thought it was just there was food in there, and he went in there and started like chewing on the bench or the medical bed that people have to sit on.
Yeah. My theory is like he's like calling a defensive play. He's out there watching the game, and right after he calls the play, he just kind of sneaks back a little bit and
got like a biscuit in his pocket.
Shuffles into the tent. Yeah, throws a little drumstick in his sweatshirt pocket, and and goes out there and has a little, shield, the play calling sheet. He uses that to shield his face while he's eating the drumstick.
I think he just turns the sheet
like I can't hear the play because he's just fucking like eating food, trying to mumble like what they're gonna run.
I think he just takes the face shield off and uses it as a plate. He just like scoops food up, like, oh, this is perfect. And then Lone Wolf has
his headset, like he's not talking to the offensive coordinator. He's just like ordering from Applebee's. Like he's on the phone with Applebee's on his headset.
He's like asking the OC. He's like, "You guys want anything?" He's like, "There's a game happening right now." And he's just like, "We're not gonna win." Everyone.
Thanksgiving, guys. Who thought to have a football game on Thanksgiving? I should be eating right now.
Like, we've been doing this every year for the last couple of years. You've been here. He's like,
you would think that'd be like a deal breaker in Matt Patricia looking for a head coaching job. Like Lions and Cowboys, like off the table. Like he's got to eat Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you think he just like blacked out? He probably like
in the interview,
he walked back to the locker room. Oh, we got too much creative energy going on right now. I bet he was like after the post game, he's probably like walking into the locker room in the middle of giving his speech to his players. He's super drunk and he just blacks out in the middle of all his players. Like, we lost, but it's Thanksgiving, and then he just fell over.
I was thinking in the interview, he's just like, hey, he's like, that whole playing on Thanksgiving, he's like, is that like permanent? Is that negotiable? And like, no, we do it every season. He's like, damn it. He's like, all right, like, I'm still in for the job if you want.
I guess.
But I saw this though, and I thought of the Jets GM Joe Douglas, and I tweeted, he's probably like, wait, you can fire a head coach like during the season? And what is it? Somebody said, because Lone Wolf without his Gay still have a job, and I thought the same thing. And then PJ says because they want to tank for Trevor. So that's why Matt Patricia got fired, because like he wasn't being bad enough to get them in a position for a good quarterback. They're like, dude, you're not even good at being bad.
Not that bad.
The good news though, if you're Matt Patricia,
like you suck at sucking.
The good news for Matt Patricia, he may be out of a job, but there is a job in the league right now for tomorrow. The Broncos, the Denver Broncos quarterback. Suit up, Matt Patricia. There's a job.
Big fella.
Or can Matt Patricia possibly play right guard? Because I'm willing to put him in there for Brian Winters.
Did you guys also get like calls from like the Denver area like a minute or two ago? It says Broncos facility. I think they're calling me.
I got an email from Indeed saying a job posting just went up you might be interested in. It's like Denver quarterback position. I think they worded it like offensive strategist, But I definitely got that email.
Part-time or just like a gig.
2 weeks
4 hours.
At least 2 weeks. What's the rookie minimum, like 650,000 or something?
That's a hell of a gig.
I bet Tony Romo's like, damn, I bet I can get back and suit up really quick. Anywho, Lone Wolf, how about Matt Patricia for one tech? Again, he's got the size. I'm willing to try it out. But what's the worst thing you ever guys heard about Matt Patricia? I heard that he like showed up late for meetings like constantly.
Like when he was with the Lions or the Patriots?
Yeah, as the Lions head coach. No, as the Lions head coach, they said
there's no way it would be with the Patriots. He
said he just showed up as a head coach. He showed up like late to meetings all the time.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, how can you have that guy leading your locker room? I want to get back to let's talk about the game a little bit tomorrow. I want to talk about. I have here in my notes. We talked a lot about Justin Herbert. I want to talk about his number one wide receiver, Keenan Allen, because I think Keenan Allen is one of the league's most underrated wide receivers. Like he actually, if I were to ask you guys who leads the league in receptions this year, you probably would not guess Keenan Allen, but he has 81 receptions. The second most is Stephon Diggs with 73. Allen's Allen's quietly like a beast, and I think we don't hear a lot about him because he's on Los Angeles, and he's with the Chargers, and they constantly lose, and they're losing. But Keenan Allen, like he's got the big beard, and then he's got the Jeremy look. He's with a little bit of a bigger beard and the bald head, and he's pretty cool. He keeps all he does is score touchdowns, and
I think he got it for
balls.
me. I think he got that look for me totally.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
So, but yeah, I agree. Max, as you mentioned, you told me that beforehand. But I mean, hey, we got Trey White. I feel like he'll take a little bit away from him. So,
well, like, I just want to shine a little respect on Keenan Allen because I feel like he gets disrespected when we talk about some of the best receivers in the league. One thing I don't like about Keenan Allen though, and he had a little he was talking a little bit too much this offseason. So they did the NFL top 100 players of the year, or whatever. It was the one where like Josh Allen was ranked like 87th or something. Keenan Allen, I think, got 77. And afterwards he went on Twitter and he was all pissed off. He was like, I'm sick of this disrespect. I am better than Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and like someone else. And it's like, wait a minute, like, are you really better than Tyreek Hill? Like, I don't know. Like, he's a great wide receiver, but is he better than Tyreek Hill and Mike Evans? I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's my only beef with Keenan Allen.
I mean, Tyreek Hill, he's got like a lot more speed. He's got the versatility. He can also like, he's got the kick and punt return like ability. So yeah, is he better than Tyreek Hill? Probably not. I mean, maybe better person off the field. That's probably definitely possible.
It's not a high bar.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't understand how the players don't get this. Like the top 100, it's like the players are voting, so it's kind of, in a way, it's like a popularity contest, I guess, in a sense, maybe not too much, because I mean, I guess you're voting for people that you played against, so all those people you didn't play against probably aren't going to say anything about you that season. But yeah, I agree, man. That's a little too much talking. Like it's just a list, Let your stats do the talking.
I just pulled up this comment here. Brian Downey says, I'm more scared of Mike Williams on CB2. Yeah, I think that's a good call because Mike Williams is a big, large man. And we seem to have difficulties facing those types of receivers. I don't know if Levi can. I hope Levi can hang with Mike Williams, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
That's true. Like Mike Williams is good. I really think he's pretty underrated as well. But maybe if Levi struggles, that's when I feel like Josh Norman is a more physical cornerback, at least to say. So maybe he does match up a little better on Mike Williams just to give him like a little jam or something like that. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. They're a good offensive team. I think that can't be stated enough. It's just
true.
We need to outscore them, really. I think we will too, but.
Yeah, I think we can. I'm not too familiar with their defense. I don't think their defense is fantastic or great, right? You guys are you familiar with it?
They've had
nope.
Ingram. I mean, a lot of injuries.
Yeah, we're not the big preview guys. Like I say, we kind of skim the top that we know. That's basically it.
We're the everyman. We're the everyman.
Every
guys.
other vidcast.
I know Derwin James is injured. Derwin James,
yeah.
He's out.
Hey, they got Bosa. Joey Bosa. He's not a defensive back, but Bosa's a beast.
Defensive end. He'll be in there. I hate Joey Bosa in Madden. He kicks my ass every time I play him. He gets like 5 sacks every game. Probably because I hold on to the ball for too long. But that's what Josh Allen does, so I do too. Anyways.
Yeah.
Ingram's out. Derwin James is obviously out. They're starting cornerback, I can't remember his name. He's out.
Casey Hayward?
Yes.
Is Hayward out? Okay.
I think.
All right, maybe. I'm feeling good now.
I know one of those guys is out.
Those are a lot of big name guys that are out. I like that. That's good.
They traded Desmond King. I know Desmond King was pretty good, and he's gone now.
Yeah.
Chris Harris I don't know if Chris Harris is playing now, but he was on the questionable list. So they got a pretty banged up defense. So that bodes well.
I had their injury report up, but I changed it.
How's it look? Does it look as good as ours?
The Chargers one?
Format wise?
Yeah, what's the aesthetic look of the
that's
of
true.
the injury report? Because that's a big factor when it comes to predicting games.
Yeah, last time you were on Brother Bill, right beforehand, you were like comparing injury reports.
Yeah.
And you were saying how ours looked much cooler than the Seahawks. You know whose I don't like is the Patriots. Theirs is just so plain. It's like they typed it up in like Microsoft Word, added and it makes sense that it's the Patriots. Like with Bill Belichick, they type it up and they're like, all right, should I add some color, make it a little flashy? He's like, what? No.
He's like, no. He's like he's over their shoulder. He's like, do your job. It's like, do my job. What is the bare minimum I have to do my job? And he's like, okay, I've done it.
He's like,
I've made a table in a Word doc. I've typed.
He's like, this isn't Disneyland. Get out of here with your colors. I don't
12-point font, Times New Roman, 1.5 spaced. Yeah, that's how he does it. And honestly, seeing all these injury reports around the league, I don't think it's going out on a limb to say the Buffalo Bills have the cleanest injury report in the game. Cleanest being cleanest looking. I think it's the best. I haven't seen them all, but I think it's the best.
I can't imagine one better looking.
Yeah, there's no way. Our color scheme, there's no way. The blue and the red, it's too pretty.
I'm pulling up their actual Twitter one, and I'm trying to look for it. Where it's because we got to judge this. Okay, here we go. All right.
I really hope the guy that like makes the Bills injury reports is watching this right now. He's like, he's man, I'm fucking killing it. I'm killing it right now.
Let me pull it up for you guys really quick. I'm not Brother Bills. It's not bad. So I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Here we are. It's got their colors to it.
That's pretty.
Here's our injury report.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Got the nice colors, and they even have ours on there too.
Wow.
It's almost too flashy though. It's almost too flashy. It's like these are your injured guys. Like these are your injured guys. Don't you think you're being too disrespectful to the guys that are injured by making this look so cool? Look at the font for injury report is a little too
it's making me like
out
happy
there
to look
for me. Yeah, it's like exactly. It should make you feel somber.
Too good makes it bad. Too good makes it bad.
Yeah, it should be like if you have crazy like fun fonts on like if you go visit a funeral and they hand out like the in memoriam cards and they're like Comic Sans font, you're gonna be like, this is wrong. Like this shouldn't be the case. This should be the font.
Great analogy. That's a great analogy.
How do you feel about that, Jeremy?
Yeah, I agree. I guess it's like you don't want it to make you feel too good. You kind of want to, or maybe you do. It's like, oh, that sucks, but these colors are making me feel kind of like cheery. It's like they're just trying to, be cool about it. It's like injury report. It's a bummer, but it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely a middle ground because you can't go like the Patriots and just be a standard table with boring fonts. And it's like, what am I looking at? Is this from the 1950s? What is this?
Joey Bosa had a comment on Josh Allen. And I kind of wanted to bring it up because he wasn't bad. He was, he says what you want him to hear. He kind of talks about, all of his pluses. Is this it right here? Because I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. It's taking a little while to bring up, but he basically, he first talks about like how hard he is to tackle. He's like he doesn't run like other quarterbacks do. He's like, if sometimes when you get too close, like he'll drop his shoulder and try to run through you. So he's like, so you gotta like tackle him around the legs to bring him down. You can't do that, which I totally agree with. And he did kind of mention his legs, but he talked about saying how, we want to keep him in the pocket. And I kind of disagree. I'm like, this isn't him like his rookie year or even a little last year. Like he's fine, like from the pocket, he's fine with scrambling and he can run it. So this whole like, we want to keep him in the pocket. It's like, that's fine. I don't think that's really accurate anymore. Like, go ahead, keep him in the pocket, give him a clean pocket. He's made some pretty impressive throws like this season, like how he responds to pressure and stuff. I can think of a couple plays where it's like it's closing in on him and he's just calm and he gets it out. So I think it was like pretty true what he said about the most part, but as far, it's like I said, it's not like he's a rookie anymore. It's like we're gonna make him beat us with his arm. It's like, okay, please let him do that.
Yeah. He's been listening to too much ESPN, too much like Nick Wright and all those guys.
Those guys who like forget their homework, so they're like, "What did they say about him last year?" We'll just go with that. Like, it's like, is that still the same? I'm just gonna say.
I think the most impressive thing about Josh Allen right now for me is like his ability. I love his numbers against the blitz. Like that's what's awesome to me. Is like even when he's facing pressure, like he knows which read to go to. He's awesome against the blitz this year. So it's like what happened like against Seattle. Like Seattle was like, well, our secondary can't do shit. We're just gonna blitz every down, and Josh Allen was killing it. He was doing amazing there. So I love that. The fact that he's doing well against the blitz is awesome. And yeah, keeping him in the pocket, like he's been great in the pocket this year. So I don't know. You can't really do anything to defend Josh Allen. He's on the fringes of the MVP discussion for a reason. So yeah, he's a beast. We all know that.
PJ is saying pull up a picture of him. He says he has the widest neck. So I went ahead and did this really quick. How wide is this neck? I think that's the best one I can do.
Oh,
that's a pretty wide neck. It is.
Yeah. Does he have a wider neck than who is it?
Posluszny.
Not Posluszny. He was a Bill. Takeo. Yeah. Takeo Spikes. Yeah. So I was thinking.
Hall of Fame.
It's wide and it's also kind of long too. Like that doesn't help.
Yeah.
If it was like
Takeo's
maybe a little shorter.
Neck was like a tree trunk.
Look up Takeo's neck, Jeremy. Yeah. Takeo Spikes. And then also another guy with a weird neck. TJ Yeldon has a really long neck. Has anyone noticed that?
So does Mike
wears
Lennon.
a helmet. When he wears a helmet on the field, TJ Yeldon, like it's like he's a little giraffe. He's like his head's so far above his shoulder pads.
Is that neck over there?
That's Takeo. Yeah, that's Takeo.
That neck was insane.
That is a neck. Anyways, this
necks and injury reports.
Yeah, this is the content. This is the previews you get from us.
We're all still drunk from Thanksgiving, right? Or am I the only one?
It was PJ's idea for the next stuff, not ours. All right, so I'm just giving the viewers what they want.
Exactly.
We got a few more minutes left, so I'm gonna ask, if you guys got any questions, comments that you want to get in before we wrap up. We're just a couple minutes away from 4:30, so get those in there. You guys have anything to throw in there while we wrap up?
I got a closing point. I mean, I don't know if this is a closing point, but Stephon Diggs' birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, that's true.
Predict a big game.
Taylor, I think he said this a couple times. He wants score predictions. I know I've done them once, but I really don't like to do score predictions. So anybody want to start off first?
Yeah, I'll jump right in there with some score predictions. Let's see. So I think it's gonna be close. I've kind of said it before. I think it's not gonna be a blowout, and I think the Chargers are gonna hang in there for a while. So I think it's gonna be 33-29 Bills.
33-29. Brother Bill, you want to give yours? I gotta close my door real quick.
Bills by a billion.
Bills by a billion.
Of course.
I was like, I was like, he's not talking. What's going on here? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
Max, I'm kind of leaning towards your score. Like I said, I think both offenses have the potential to score in like the high 20s, like maybe even one or both get into the 30s. However, I would like to see our defense, like with the rookie quarterback like Justin Herbert. I know he's been doing well. I feel like we can possibly slow him down a little bit. So maybe I don't know. I'll say 20. How about 28-17? I'm gonna say the Bills maybe get a good lead.
It's not a one-score game, Jeremy.
Did I say it was going to be?
No, I was just saying like the Chargers always have one-score games.
It's not. I mean, like the Bills are coming off of rest. We have I think our offense can score points. Chargers could, but again, it's a rookie quarterback, and I think McDermott could come up with a good plan, and maybe just this time we can slow Herbert down a little bit. I don't think we'll completely shut him down, but slow him down. that's what I'm hopeful for.
I like this prediction. Trey White pick 6.
Ooh.
Boom.
He's due. He's due.
He was so close in that Seattle game. I think he got to like the 5-yard line or something. I feel like he should have had a pick 6 on that one. But how about Buffalo Mania news? This is definitely a topic. The uniforms tomorrow. Max, we mentioned last week how the Chargers are probably like our favorite uniforms right now outside the Bills.
Yeah, how about this though? Like, this is going to be a great uniform matchup. Like, great throwback uniforms for the Bills. They're wearing the throwbacks. And that's what you're alluding to. Yeah. And then
that's what I was getting to.
Have great uniforms. Sorry, I kind
now
of
the Chargers are wearing the like the navy ones, like the dark navy ones that also have like the bolt that matches. Like, how do we feel about these particular combinations?
Is that the ones they wore against the Raiders? It's like dark navy blue. Is it kind of like color rush?
Top and bottoms. Yeah, it's a little bit like a color rush. So it's like,
all right.
I feel like this might be the first time they've worn, but I don't know. I haven't watched a whole bunch of Chargers.
That's going to be awesome. I'm excited for these uniforms.
I like the dark navy ones. Like I said, we've mentioned last week. We like the Chargers new uniforms this season. Awesome. I like the like their brighter colors too, like the powder blue, like on the yellows and stuff like that. You know what? I want to say the Rams uniforms like grew on me, but I still don't care for their bone color uniforms.
I don't like them.
It's just they look dirty. It's like underwear that needs to be thrown away, and just you're not using bleach to watch them. I like them.
I started out really liking them, and then I think I watched them on Monday Night Football, and I was like, yeah, I don't like these as much anymore. Yeah, I kind of starting to agree with you that they just look like dirty, like they're dirty.
The rest have like grown on me. I like those more than I did at first, but yeah, I just don't care for the bone ones.
Yeah,
didn't get those out.
I like this hot take by Richard Rush. Motor longest run will be 65 yards. How about a breakout for Motor? Let's have that happen.
I'll take it.
I like it.
Let's have Motor just break out in this game and go completely off and get 100 yards in this game. I'd love that.
I'd love it.
Yeah. Like I said, I know Moss had a good Patriots game where his touchdowns looked a little better than Motor, but I don't think there's been any game where he's really blown him out of the water. And like I said, I'm good with just 1A, 1B. I'd like to see Singletary get back on it, but that, the offensive line, they gotta improve a little bit though, for sure. But Motor with the 65-yard run, definitely. I think the longest he got was like that 40-something yard screen against Washington last season. So yeah, it's got to be some good seasons. Yeah, the Washington last season.
Like, how do we refer to them in the past tense now if we're talking about a game that happened years ago?
They were the Washington 8. They were a Washington football team. This year they're the Washington football team.
That's a good way to do it. That's a good distinction.
But yeah, 65. I mean, I'd like to see it, but we know he doesn't really have the speed. So as a speed defensive backs can catch up with him, but blocking's got to be good, obviously. All right. Well, last one before we go. Hot take: Allen to Davis, 75-yard touchdown.
I would love that.
Like I said, I would love to see Davis break out, and like we've been wanting him to. I don't think he's quite shown it, but I'd love to see it. Who do you keep next year? Yeah, who do we keep next year? From PJ, Milano, Williams, or Feliciano? Ooh.
I think you can keep 2 of them. I feel like 2 of them is realistic.
Yeah. I wonder how much Williams is going to want as a right tackle. I think we signed him for like $12 an hour this year or something.
Yeah.
Like we signed him thinking, oh, he's a depth piece, and then he ended up getting kind of like Feliciano. They're both signings. It's like, oh, he'll be depth, and then they both stepped up. So I'm curious. I'm going to pull up his contract. But you guys want to share what you think we're going to do there?
I'd say if it came down to 2 out of those 3, I'd say Milano and Williams, and Feliciano would be the odd man out. I just think right tackle is very important. We got our left tackle with Dion. I want our right tackle there solidified too. And Darrell Williams has proven that he can be that solid starting right tackle for us.
I like them all so much. It's like painful. I think I would go Milano and Feliciano. honestly.
Yeah.
I think Feliciano's like character means so much to this team. Like they seem like the players all love him, and he's just like a gritty ass. What Doc can say, savage, like over and over, just a savage. So I would take him. I'm hoping that like both of those guys, like linemen, aren't always that selfish either. Like they're more like team guys, and I could see them taking like a cheaper deal just because like both of them were kind of like nobodies. And I mean, Williams had a really good year at the Panthers, but he's been on like a 2-3 year decline. So maybe like they feel like they owe it to us a little bit and take a cheaper deal. But if not, I'm Milano and Feliciano.
Yeah. Well, I know Williams he had some injury concerns, and then when he wasn't injured, they were moving him like all over the line, and I don't think that was for him. So this year, where he's actually been playing like his position at right tackle, he's been doing well. So his contract was for 1 year, $2.25 million. So he had a $250 signing bonus, average salary $2,250,000. So he's going to be like, yeah, you're gonna have to kick that up for sure. I almost would say maybe re-sign him for like 1 or 2 years, see if he'll take like somewhere between like 7 and 10. It's like, can you keep doing this for us? But maybe also draft somebody. For sure. I don't know if we bring Inseki back. It seems like you just can't rely on him to play an entire game. Like I think he can play well when he's in there, but again, do you want a guy who's just like, I can't play the whole game, but I'll give you like every now and then.
He's pretty old too. I want to say he's like 36 or something.
He is, yeah. He absolutely is. He's like 36, very tall. I think he's like 6'8" or something. He is an older dude, so it's only going to get a little worse. But with Milano, man, I feel like he is just one of the best players on our defense, and I think you don't just let that guy walk. I know people talk about the injury concerns, but it's like, do you want to like not sign him and then him go to like another team and he's completely healthy all year and continues to ball out? It's like,
and he hasn't been that injured like besides this year. Really. That's what kind of like I looked at it and he's only missed like I think last year he missed 2 games to injury and he was sat out that final Jets game. The year before
and then
that,
this year,
and then this year's just been like a crappy year.
Yeah, this year he's been injured in a season where injuries are like crazy. Like everywhere. And people are like, he's injury prone. It's like everyone's getting injured this year. Like, come on. But I love Feliciano. I think we definitely got to keep him as like our backup center, maybe starting center if, Mitch Morse decides he is, wants to retire or he's done. I think he could be put him at like starting center for a year, maybe again, look somewhere else in the draft. It's hard though. I would probably be the saddest to see Milano go though. So for me, I think I got to lean towards him.
Yeah, I would be most heartbroken by that one for sure.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, I think that's good for today. Any final thoughts, closing statements?
It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Of course.
Bills
guys.
Bills by a billion.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Follow Brother Bill at Brother. He makes the funniest memes videos. Wrigley has made his awesome.
Wrigley, what's your prediction? Is it Bills by a billion?
He's like treats.
He's on par.
He's like chew toy.
He's just happy to be here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at BFF_Jeremy.
My name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. Thank you guys so much for showing up in the comments. We appreciate your support every week. Means a lot. And thank you to Brother Bill.
Definitely.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Of course. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.